Round 18 trades, mainly running out here. We had four left in the People's Squad with a bit of cash in the bank. We've made two, and I'm very, very happy with the trades this week. Jake Simpkin comes in, and also Nico Hines. So unfortunately, we had a few issues coming into this week for the People's Squad. A few forced changes in Reece Walsh and unfortunately Jack Bird. So they're the two guys to go. We're obviously pretty highly priced there in the mid 600s, and allowed us to get up to our captain for this week in Nico, and then brings in Simpkin as well, who will definitely cover our hooker stocks next week. We're pretty light on, unfortunately, across the squad. In our center position, we are missing one for next week, so that's definitely something to look at. In the wing fullbacks, not having Chance is a little bit painful. Having Sandon Smith was good for points last week. Not that we actually got them, but having him, Terps, these types of players there doesn't help us for round 19. So we'll probably need to use our last two trades next week to make sure that we have the full complement of players or close to it heading into that week. And not having guys like Corey Horsburgh is going to be a little bit helpful, just because it's likely that he's going to miss next week. Not very helpful that we don't have his scoring, but that's that on that front. We have some looping to do this week, and given that the Tigers play in that middle game, I believe on Saturday against the Cows, I'll be there watching. Oh, I won't be there, but I'll be watching that with a few mates there. Keen for that. Simpkin will be the guy that we loop first in the number 5 spot, and then we can decide what we want to do with the Sandon Smith or Terps. Shows that we've got a really strong squad this week. Having just the two Eels players, yes, Bird and Walsh would have been great to have as well, but the two trades made are very, very helpful. And having Payne Haas, having Grant, I expect the People Squad to have a really, really good week. And let me know if you think that they'll dominate as well, and it'll be interesting to see how it plays out with our emergencies there. And do we want to be looping someone like Buller instead? With how the Tigers might go, obviously without their stars at the moment. So maybe Sandon Smith or Turpin we want to play over Buller, and we can have Ponga in that spot there. So it's something to have a look at, and let me know how you would play this one out here. With my squad, it's always, why is it so much harder, these trades, as to what we want to do? But where we're sitting at the moment is no trades made. That will change, but just wanted to speak through the options with you, and if you want to help me out, then that would be cool. Or if you had any suggestions of which one out of the potential options that I'm looking to choose. So we spoke about Shawnee Bloor as being a potential option, and for me, unfortunately, I can't go Trent Liero straight to IPAP. So that's where Shawn Bloor comes into play. And if I did make the one trade, it does leave me with about 200k in the bank for next week and 3 trades available. That would be cool. That would allow me to have 18 players available for this week, like I currently do, and I likely wouldn't be playing Blake Taff. And we can loop him obviously there as well. That would be fine. We have potential trade outs eventually in the next few weeks of Turpin, Robson, a little bit hammy tightness, Turpin with his ribs. Obviously, he still has, if he gets through a good portion of the 50 minutes or so of this game, he should be able to make some cash as well. But the main issue here is Lemuelu. So he has a very high break even again, and is likely going to lose plenty of cash. So what do we do with him? If I hold him now, I'm definitely playing him the next 2 weeks, and maybe I'm trading him out in 20. Maybe we're trading him out in 21. That probably means he gets, if he scores anywhere between that sort of 28 to sort of 40 there, he gets down to about that 500k mark and loses that 90. So he's someone that I definitely think a downgrade option could be a part of it. I had thought of trading, downgrading Turpin, but it's like, well, if he actually can get through the game fine and tackle his heart out and do his thing, then he's likely going to score better than any of the guys that I'm looking to trade him to. And he will make some more money than most of them as well, because a lot of the under 540k type of guys, 510 or whatever I need to get up to IPAP, aren't going to score as well as him. So there's that as the option as well. Robson, if we're able to find out 24 hours before, I don't need to make my trades tonight, given I've got Heinze in there, I've got DeBellin. That's all I really need from that game, unless I was looking at a Ramian or a Talakai or Nicara or something like that, which I'm not. Not directly. Ramian and Talakai, they're okay as options, but I don't think I'll be looking at them. Robson, if we find out he's actually got an issue or whatever, then sure. But I think we'll hold him one more week and assess from there with him and Cook and these types of guys. And likely my next week's trade, no matter what, is going to be Robson or Turpin down to Brennan Hands. And that's going to allow me plenty of cash in the bank to make an upgrade of likely Blake Taff in round 20 to a gun, 650 plus type of gun in whatever position that may be. Maybe that's Ruben Garrick or something around that range would be cool. Would obviously have more in the bank if I traded Robson down instead of Terps, but we'll see how that all plays out. The main issue with a few of the trade-ins, so if I was to do double trade, Trent Lioro up to IPAP, Lemuelu would have to go down to someone about 545, I think, and below. So Lomax was an option. You had Matt Timoko, these kind of guys. They'd probably be my first couple of choices as to guys I'd want. They both missed round 20, and me currently, I'm sitting with 4 guys out for round 20. If I did that one more, I'd make it 5. So that would be frustrating. As I said, probably could upgrade one of them, like a Blake Taff or something like that, which would leave me with 17. But if there's any suspensions, any injuries, something like that, it would make it hard, and I would have to do extra trades. So likely, at the moment, it's how I'm working with this. I think I'm just going to push out the one trade out of the way to Blore. I think I'm going to get IPAP no matter what. So it's going to be 2 trades. And I think Lemuelu is going to be the guy to downgrade. And right now, it's between Valens Tafade, who would fit the bill great. If he keeps the spot for the next 3 weeks, 18, 19, 20, happy days. If he can do that, that's all I need him to do. He will make a bit of cash. He covers centre and the wing fullback position. But the risk is that he gets dropped next week and we don't have him for round 19. Their situation's a bit strange at the moment. It looks like Hammer's going to probably shore up that defensive side on the left, which they had a lot of troubles with against Eels last week, and they have for a few weeks now. Nikorima's likely to play fullback. I'm not sure where Aiken's going, but coach did say that Valence will keep his spot on the right. So maybe, you'd think maybe he has earned that, and Aiken is sort of below on the pecking order now if he's getting dropped, or they're not wanting to change him to the other side. Obviously just not happy with his defense at the moment. So Val is that first pick, and he allows us to have about a couple $100K in the bank if I do downgrade Lem to Val Tafade and get to watch him on the weekend, which will be fun. Obviously, hopefully the Dolphins can play okay and he can score well there. And the other option I think is Matt Tomoko. So that would leave me with 5 out for round 20, without having backups and all that kind of stuff be an issue. So that's kind of where I'm thinking at the moment. I could deal with that in round 20. But is that something I want to be just wasting trades on just to get a team on the park in 20? Or do I want to focus on my team building and getting to the guns as quick as possible rather than focusing on just getting a number for round 20? So that's where I'm at the moment. I think Timoko is going to score better. He has 2 nice matchups the next couple of weeks. I think he'll be able to score very well. But him or Valens Tafade at the moment. Guys like Phil Sami I definitely looked at as a potential option, given and Brian Kelly, given they don't have any more buys. But I just think, buying a winger at the moment that's an awkward price. That's the thing with Timoko as well. They're both in that mid-range kind of, Kelly. They're all mid-range cover guys that they're not going to be keepers. You could use them as kind of backup, but if Valens Tafade keeps the spot, then like he's going to be a cheaper guy that can probably score similar to them. There is that risk involved that he doesn't. That he obviously doesn't make it to next week. And if that's the case, we either just cop it and leave him in there, or we can make a trade from Turpin or something like that to a mid-range center as backup, or we can get rid of Val, or however it works, and we can get Brennan Hands as well. So I'd be able to use 2 trades next week. Is definitely there, but it's where my mind's at the moment. It's just unfortunate sometimes when there's the easy trades like the people squad don't come through. A lot of times they don't. It'd be nice if I could just do the one trade Liero to IPAP, and then I think I'd just leave it Lemuelu. But with that situation as is, I don't want Lem to lose too much cash because he's unlikely to be a keeper longer term anymore. It looks like he's got a few knocks. He just doesn't look as explosive when he runs and stuff like that he was kind of like a month, 6-8 weeks ago. It obviously could change, and he could come back and fit and firing. There could be suspensions, injuries to the Bromwich and Kafusi. But that's where we're at with the squad this week. I don't think there's too much more to say on that. Obviously, just trying to think 2, 3, 4 rounds in advance and a general kind of plan of what you want to get out of the next 3 weeks of the bye period, and then looking towards the type of players that you want to get into your finishing squad. Guys, I think a couple of edges is going to be pretty important if you have Hopgood as well. Maybe the 3 of them as the potential edge guys. If you have Horsburgh and DeBellin, these types of guys to be able to cover round 20 and round 19 is going to be really important. So I think we'll leave the trades video at that. I hope that was really helpful for you guys, and let me know which one you would go for personally. If you're on the risky train with Shawnee Blore, then let me know on that as well. But that was fun. See you later, guys.